اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآله أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a special episode of the SimplyRYQ Let's Master Surah Al Baqarah series brought to you by TVQ.Academy, your borderless school of the Quran. Yes, this is a special series which is part of the third component of this series. The first component, as we have learned at the beginning, is the introduction, which we are done with. The second component is mastering Surah Al Baqarah, which we are in the middle of. And the third component is learning on the go, in which I receive your feedback, your questions, answer them, and also highlight some related stuff to what we are doing. And also together, we think of possible ways to enhance what we are doing in this SimplyRYQ Surah Al Baqarah series. And also together we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us, grant us the intercession of the Quran in dunya before akhirah, inshallah ta'ala. So today's learning on the go, which comes in a few sessions. Today's session is the very first session. And allow me at the beginning to express my gratitude to the good followers for your feedback. In fact, I have received positive feedback, sadly offline. We are doing this online, but I hardly receive any feedback online, no comments online. As a content creator, even though I'm doing da'wah content creator, as humans, receiving such comments definitely will motivate the person. Okay. Nevertheless, those who give feedback offline, they give it in a very positive way and also constructive, effective way. To you, I'm very grateful and I'm happy that you are here. In fact, some of the feedback I receive come through a third party, meaning the one who benefits from what we are doing. They don't express it personally or directly, let alone express it in the under the video they are watching. Moving on, I acknowledge the serious learners who are following this and have been following this very closely. Yes, this program from the beginning, we did a mention that it requires that one is serious learner and is serious about wanting to master Surah Al Baqarah before they can subscribe to it or embark on it. So for the serious learners, mashallah, I can see the effect. Subhanallah, some of existing students of TVQ.Academy who have adopted it and are following it, their reading in our normal class has changed in the right or better direction. So to the serious learners, I'm grateful that you are here, and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to bless you and bless all of us with the Quran and grant us more love for the Quran and also grant us stronger bonding with the Quran. Moving on, let's talk about the live stream session, which I suggested that I was thinking of having live stream session probably once a week, fortnight, or once a month, if there is an interest from the good people, and if there is also some who wants their reading to be corrected. So far, I have not received any requests pertaining to that, and I interpret that as people may be interested, but they don't want to be featured live publicly on Facebook or on YouTube. So some may prefer to join and get their recitation corrected, but they would prefer it to be private. Therefore, I am now suggesting to have a private Zoom session Once I get 5 people who are interested to participate, then I will decide on day and time, which most likely going to be at night. I will decide on day and time of day of the week and time, and then publish it. And anyone who wants to participate will be able to join the Zoom session, which will be then private session and not live stream session. So once the session is over, the session is over. It's not going to be like archived on YouTube or on Facebook, or it's not going to be recorded for that matter. And then some concern is the punctuation method we use in our reading. For example, verse number 6, Surah Al Baqarah. We read it. إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. The verse is 1 line and a quarter, I think, and we divided it into 3 without the need to go back to pick from a word before or 2 words before. Traditionally, this is not traditional way of reading. I mean, when I say traditional, conventional way of reading or mainstream way of reading, but it is not wrong. I'm sure that it is not wrong. Therefore, that is why I'm doing it, and I don't have problem to advocate for it. It is easy for people with short breath. It is easy for everyone to learn. And even for someone who understands the Quran, you will start to appreciate the meaning of the Quran better. I'm speaking from experience. All right. إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. This is just a reading of Quran, which is fine. إن الذين كفروا. You pause. What is wrong with إن الذين كفروا? الذين كفروا. What is wrong with them? سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم. You pause. لا يؤمنون. You pause. You are not changing the meaning of anything. You are just reading in phrases. And for someone who has basic understanding of the Quran, he will start to appreciate the Quran differently. All right? But we have to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere. Having said that, one should know what he's doing. If you know what you are doing, fine. If you don't know what you are doing, follow the guidance of someone who knows. So if you follow the guidance of what we are doing here, you should be fine to go. If you don't know, please follow the mainstream. The mainstream is if your breath falls short anywhere, just stop there and go back to pick up. إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. That one verse, which we read it in one go by breaking it into 3, here you have to go back 3 times, 4 times, and take longer time even. All right. But that is the way, the mainstream. That is the conventional. There is nothing wrong to do that at all. There's nothing wrong to do that. But if you are not able to understand, to have basic understanding, or to follow what we are suggesting here, then please stick to that. Which means, don't just because you are convinced by what I am suggesting here, or I'm applying here, and you just go and pick up your Quran and start putting marks and then stopping anyhow. إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. In order to achieve that, to achieve what we are doing this way, the need for having a personal Quran is very important. If you are following this program so far, I assume you already have your personal Quran. In the event you don't have a personal Quran, this is a humble call to you to have a personal Quran. It is very important to have your personal Quran. At least you can have a Quran of this size, at least of this size. Of course, smaller than this may not be advisable for someone who is not fluent in reading the Quran or in reading Surah Al Baqarah for that matter. So if you are very mobile, you may want to have a Quran of this size and use your pencil as you follow to put marks wherever we stop. To put marks wherever we stop. Because after all, you will be going back to reading the same thing again and again and again. So please put marks, and that will make your life easy. The bigger your Quran, for sure, the better, inshallah ta'ala. So this is where the significance of having personal Quran comes in. If I cannot have my personal Quran, why isn't digital Quran sufficient? You definitely use digital Quran, but digital Quran, the versions may change with the change of your phone or your smart device. But personal Quran, unless you loses it, it will stay with you for the longest possible. Moving on is how to revise my reading of what we are learning here. The answer to this is that I will humbly refer you to check the video, your practical steps to mastering Surah Al Baqarah video, which I will leave the link in the description below. Please check that. That video is for those who want to memorize the Quran, yes, but it's very helpful for those who want to master any part of the Quran, and in this case Surah Al Baqarah for an example. All right, so even if you are not into memorizing Surah Al Baqarah, that video is still going to be beneficial to you. Please give it a watch. You are going to be inspired by many things in it, not only knowing how to revise. Okay, and we have mentioned that, mashallah, Surah Al Baqarah, we can divide it into sections, parts, and then chunks. This division is for learning purpose, just like it is there already in dividing the Quran into 30 juzu, and every juzu can be divided into 2 different parts, hizb and hizb, and every hizb can be divided or is divided into 4 different parts, which is called maqra, and so on, maqra or rubu' al-hizb, and so on. So for us, it is for educational purpose. It does not add something into the Quran or remove something out of the Quran. All right, this marks the end of this special episode, session 1 of Learning on the Go, which is part of the SimplyRYQ Let's Master Surah Al Baqarah series. I humbly invite you to please register your interest if you want to join the private Zoom session. To get to know one another is one thing, to get to learn and get our recitation of the Quran of Surah Al Baqarah to be corrected and verified, inshallah ta'ala. Do so in the comment and I will follow up accordingly. Until the next, I leave you in Allah's protection. Tomorrow, see you in Jannah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم